It's time for Elise to do some heavy lifting in Goldbeard Starship Rogue. The idea behind this is we are going to be using Elise the Navigator, access to radiant crystals. These will allow us to easily then slam down a Goldbeard and slam into our opponent's face with a ton of golden pirates. Now, how are we going to consistently get access to this one ability off of Elise? Well, we do have access to both Shadow Step and Web of Deception as ways to bounce it back to try to force it into that. However, we also have the backup plan of the Starship cards as a way for a secondary win condition through either Exodar or the crystals, or just being able to survive into the late game so we can slam down our combo. All right, now for the Mulligan guide. First thing to watch out for is going to be the Starship package outside of the Exodar. This is going to be things like Ship Right, which is great as a early game turn to play in combination with Shadow Step to get 2 Starship pieces in hand. Then you're going to be looking for AoE tools or cards that will generate them, such as Mixologist, other draw power cards in the deck, or any of the bounce cards. Now, with all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, time for a game against Priest. Let's see what we have in store for us. I'm assuming this is going to be Protoss, because it always is Protoss. I have actually a few games that are actually really good against Protoss Priest with this deck. Depending on which one of these end up feeling the best or showcasing the win condition that I want the most, one of them will make it into the video. The other ones will probably never see the light of day. Just because I'm assuming y'all would not want to see a video that is just a bunch of Protoss Priest games back to back. We'll see though. Maybe I don't get anything better. I'm really hoping to get the Goldbeard combo. Most of the time so far, I have been mostly winning through the Starship package. The initial version I had of this list did not use the Starship cards, and then I was like, wait, the Starship cards actually are a good way for a rogue to survive into the late game, so you could actually like easily win, right? But with the comp, and this just felt a little bit better than the weird greedy thief rogue version of the list that I was trying out. I do have a few quick games that we could probably include of those two, but I think this one is just much better overall. All right, slam down Xavius. Ooh, let's grab that. Why not, right? Ooh. I mean, I guess we could get lucky. Okay, there's 2 ways we could do this. They can't win the game this turn, so I'm just going to slam this down. I'm going to be a little bit greedy. Oh, Chilling Vulgin. I mean, it does not work out in our favor, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter because we get 2 anyways. So why not, right? Also, we'll probably get to a more meme-tastic list next video afterwards. I'm really trying to make a Ultra Gigasaur like OTK combo work with Alkier. We'll see how that all goes. I don't expect that deck to win a lot. Just a little bit of insider knowledge. It probably will also be in our Starship deck. I think in order to make slower combo decks work, a lot of classes, I kind of am just falling back on the Starship cards because there's not a bunch of like new survivability tools to try out besides them. Also, I haven't done well, I guess I have been doing a little bit more Starship cards recently, but like I haven't played too many Starship decks, I don't think. Also, I don't have we ever done Starship Rogue on this channel? I feel like there was one reason why I tried it before, but I can't remember what it was. Moment of truth. Oh, it was MC Blingtron. So yes, I did do it once before. I've actually done a pretty good chunk of all the Starship classes, including classes that like can't use Starships. aka priest, right? I haven't done a paladin one, so maybe we'll do that at some point. We did warlock. I'm trying to think of like what classes I haven't done. Well, of course we haven't done mage because mage doesn't have a starship. That would only put me at 9. What are the 2 classes I haven't? Alright, slam this down. Might as well slam down on this one. See what we can randomly generate. I'm going to go with the cultist map. We'll do it next turn. We won't worry about it this turn. Oh, I've also done shaman, but I didn't label it as a starship deck. So, paladin, mage. Oh, hunter. Have I really not done a hunter list? Sorry. I got a little bit distracted. Okay, so I would really, really love to see Bob. That ain't Bob, but we have 2 Goldbeard's good for next turn. Okay, we can pop the Divine Shield. Pop this Divine Shield too. Actually, no, let's go with the smaller minion. Because this way I think we can get rid of the bow. Did I do the math right there? Yeah. Okay, cultist map, just trying to get any card. It doesn't really matter. We'll go for one of the crystals. Maybe I have never done a Starship Hunter list. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. And by back of my mind, probably forget about it again. I'm probably more likely to do a mage Starship list than that, but we shall see. Okay, we get this down. Probably ambush predators. I mean, we're not losing this turn. That's the key important value here, and it does get rid of 2 of their minions. Okay. Honestly, though, like, the games that I've actually had against Protoss Priest in this list, as long as I'm not going for the big meme of trying to get like a 10, like we are right now, I've had a pretty decent chance versus Protoss Priest, I would say. The deck doesn't feel off. To be fair, it's not really that off of a normal deck. I think really I'm basically just using Goldbeard, but you know, it is what it is, right? Okay, I'm just going to pop as much as we can. Or maybe they'll have a Ceaseless Expanse. If they don't, they don't. I know we could get like an additional one of these starships on board, but I don't really care too much. I want to win with the 1 win condition that I've been trying to win with basically for the entire day. Or, well, not the entire day. Half of the day, because I didn't have the internet for the other half of the day, which is why I ended up not streaming this one. Okay. Templar into Templar? Okay. I mean, I could be upset about that, or hear me out. It actually helps me out a decent amount because it allows me to try to pull off this combo. Three mana. You can discover a card. Ooh. Pop the Divine Shield. Okay, so that's 1 mana. Pop the other Divine Shield. And then it's time for the ceaseless potential of Goldbeard to be seen. Man, have I been wanting to do a combo like this for a while again. Let's go for the golden combo. Okay, warlock. It's probably the agamaggan list. And honest, let me know down below if that's something that you would still like me to maybe cover. I know it's a deck that a lot of people are calling for nerfs, and I kind of want to just focus on my own weird, wacky combos. But if there has ever been a meta deck that reads Bond, that is definitely one of those decks. I'm actually very much considering using it for my ladder climb next month. Okay. That makes me think it's exactly that. There was actually there were other things that I was going to do in Warlock. There's a few other ideas that I've had that wasn't just the quest, but I thought the quest would like take a little bit priority just because of the fact that like it got buffed up. It is also kind of cool. I know a lot of people hate it, but Dorian got enabled by like one new card being printed. It was always a card that was like one or two cards from being broken. Actually, the other version of this list that I was testing was using Dorian as a way to like in combination with map plus digging for treasure in order to draw into your like key high cost minions. But I ended up cutting them just because I don't know. I thought the starships would be something a little bit cooler and more something that I haven't done in a while. Like it's a twist on a I wouldn't say a meta deck, but like a decent deck, right? But I do I know this entire game is going to be me like praising the idea behind the deck that we're facing right now. I like the idea of the deck. I think it's cool. I think oh, actually, I'm like, I think you could increase the mana on them, but I think Agmeridon is a 10 cost, right? Or is Agmeridon a 9 cost? But that would actually help the deck. Weirdly, if you wanted to nerf it, you could either nerf Puppet Master or you could hit Agmeridon. And when you hit Agmeridon, you would then lower the cost because that lowers the amount of damage output that they can do in a single turn. And then you could like work for or do the combo that I did, I think last set, where I was using Shaldersil as a way to shuffle Agmeridon back to the top of the deck and then drawing with the Marin card in order to get a handful of them. That was a cool combo. That I was very proud of coming up with that combo. That was a really, really nice one. I get why people are complaining about this one. Also, another great example of a kind of outlier-ish deck being caused by cards from last year instead of the cards since they changed their opinion on having higher power sets or not. Okay, let's just slam down our two pieces. That's a weird... That looks weird to me, doesn't it, y'all? That's not like a normal divine shield, right? It doesn't look like a normal divine shield. Huh. Weird. And they didn't attack twice, so maybe it doesn't look like it has... Where did the divine shield come from then? Not even going to question it. Maybe it bugged out, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Oh, also another... I'm assuming they don't have enough damage to, like, win the game here. What I was going to say, there was a game where I randomly... We just did Toru Demon Hunter, where I randomly generated Toru in this list. Turns out the jars copied by Sonia don't give you any minions in the jars. It gives you an empty one, which lost me the game because I didn't. I slammed down like 3 in a row because I'm like, oh yeah, they'll just summon whatever minion. Turns out, nope, they don't. Okay. We can keep making this a little bit bigger. Oh, Biopod's actually kind of funny. But I think we actually might have to launch this just as a way to heal. So they wouldn't have Eternal Layover. I was kind of hoping that would be a card because, well, I guess Quest Paladin isn't as common as it was. That a lot of people would end up cutting it. It's fine though. It's okay. Maybe their hero power won't destroy. I mean, it didn't destroy all our minions. It left one up. Okay. I'm just going to slam these down. It's not about building the biggest starship in the world. It's about building a bunch of smaller ones, I guess.
You're merely a pawn for the puppet
master. Okay, so it is the agamaggan combo. Just gotta hope that they don't get enough damage. I never... You know? I did not... Why did I never consider that was part of that combo? That makes sense. I don't think I've ever seen someone, like, slam down Elise in that deck against me. But it is a guaranteed, like, 10 cost. It doesn't even have to be a good 10 cost card. It just has to be a 10 cost card to get you low. I'm used to seeing Farok. And knowing my luck with Farok, maybe that is one reason why I wouldn't want to play the deck. I know my luck with that card, and it never ends well. But we can freeze out the board for at least one turn. Bounce it back, because why not? Just so we can maybe freeze it out for another turn. We're trying to, like, survive long enough in order to, I don't know, draw in. Oh, we do have the Exodar in hand. I don't want to give them a minion spot. I'm assuming they probably don't have that many minions left in there.
Let's have some fun.
Okay. Okay, we can do Exodar. Actually, how do we want to do this? Exodar, summon some starships. I'm gonna go for the pieces. Freeze out the board because we do have the mana. I forgot we had 11 mana here. But yeah, I think this will be fine. And they could Eternal Layover us, which is fine. If they don't, they don't. Actually, Eternal Layover would be pretty bad for them. Because it... Okay, that would... I know that shouldn't shock me how that worked. But for some weird reason, I expected it to just whiff and not give them any minion at all. Okay, there's Mortal Coil. What cards do they have left in their deck that would be... Oh, for rock. Okay, well. That answers that question. The funny thing is, if they get any AoE that deals damage to their minions... Okay, that isn't it. Ooh, 5 HP and a dream. I'm trying to think how we do this. We can do Sonya into Crystal, which is a Sonar Crystal. And then we can go face, that's 11 damage. Actually, probably should have slammed these down first. Oh, I'm going to be off by like 2 damage, aren't I? Oh, I should have slammed these down first. Because the idea is we use Ceaseless, and then they take 11 plus 2. Okay, we would have been still 4 off. So that doesn't make... Well, 2 off. 2. Okay, well, then we can go map, I guess, into preparation. Just to draw in our card. Grab the Mixologist, slam down Heart, just in case. And I think we probably... We actually have this one. That's not bad. Not bad at all.
All are nourished and the cycle renewed.
Okay, Ysera into... Also, their hero power. I really, really want to do something with Story of Sulphurous. That might be sometime next week. But I think this is just GG. I have a... the funny thing is, I actually have a lot of ideas for, like, Warrior in particular that I want to get around to. I just don't know when I'm going to get around to them. Oh, Goldbeard's kind of funny. Okay, we can go Mixologist into free in armor. Or revive in armor, sorry. 8 damage, sure. Gets rid of everything there. Ho ho ho! That's a pretty good hit. And then we grab Elise for next turn. Might as well send this down. Why not? We actually probably should have done the 3 damage to our opponent's face, but that's okay. Because the next turn... Oh, GG. Alright, now we're through the games. Let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, I played 20 games with the deck, ended up with a 45% win rate, which actually isn't that bad. Honestly speaking, if I wasn't trying to force the Goldbeard combo in a lot of the games that I lost, I think this deck actually could have had a positive win rate. Turns out the Starship cards in Rogue right now are actually just pretty strong. It is kind of a shame that this is one of those old packages that is way stronger than the current packages the Rogue got access to, such as Quest. But it is what it is. I don't think I've ever actually covered Starship Rogue on the channel, or at least not since rotation. So if you're a fan of the Starship cards, or Thief, or just want to use your gold builder that you've been holding on to for the last year, this is a great one for y'all to try out. But if you're looking to win more games, maybe skip out on this one. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.